catch up with the latest topics making the buzz, the stories that tick, the trends. Let's let you in on why they are trending, from politics, entertainment, business, lifestyle, and more. Analyzing the trending stories with top eyeballs. Hashtag on Voice of the People Television, giving you an insight to everything and everyone Nigeria is talking about. Showing on VOP TV, 10 p.m. Monday to Friday. Hashtag if it's trending, we bring it on. Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being of an individual. It's the fundamental right of everyone to enjoy the highest attainable standard of health without distinction of race, religion, or political belief. On VOP TV, we bring you Health Check, a show that x-rays different health issues and provides solutions with the help of experts in the medical field. Join us every Tuesday from 2:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Health Check. Health Check on VOP TV. Your health, our priority. Are you ready to connect with distinguished Nigerians around the world? The Diaspora Perspective is here to share the views of Nigerians in the diaspora on burning issues.
From the street of New York, the royal cities of London, and the bustling cities of Europe, Voice of the People Television brings to you a roundtable and collage of interesting views from Nigerians in diaspora.
Join the host of the show and some Nigerians in diaspora, Dr. Damages, the flagship, show, and KJ, as they discuss the experiences, challenges, and triumphs of Nigerians living abroad.
Discussing and analyzing everything from politics, culture, policies, career success, and how Nigerians are staying connected to their roots. Showing every Saturday by 2 p.m. West African time and 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
The Diaspora Perspective, giving a voice to Nigerians abroad. To know the happenings in the maritime sector, join us on the program Maritime Frontiers on VOP TV as we discuss key areas in the maritime sector, from aquaculture, maritime transportation, maritime labor regulation, oil and gas exploration, ferry and passenger insurance, marine pollution and prevention, port operations, and lots more.
Join me on Sundays every 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Voice of the People TV.
Maritime Frontiers, exploring Nigeria's blue economy. Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I, from social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more. Tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. People's Voice. Mondays through Thursdays, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count. From the views on the street,
we go to bed empty hunger,
to the blaring horns of a hustling city. The loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries. Voice of the People, 90.3 FM.
Alright, good afternoon, sport fans. So much at stake as far as the 3.4. Talking about to qualify for the World Cup is at stake as the Super Eagles of Nigeria takes on the Warriors of Zimbabwe. A lot to look forward to after beating the Rwanda. Nigerians are expecting And of course, the Uyo Stadium is full to capacity, as a lot of Nigerians are looking forward to see the Super Eagles pick 3 points in this one. But definitely 90 minutes is what they need to set themselves apart from the Zimbabweans. My name is Jerry Appeloha. It promises to be exciting as we take a look at the match, giving you live analysis of what to expect. And of course, the game is already on as we speak. And of course, the starting lineup, the usual suspects, making sure the show talking about in Uyo is going to be hopefully to the delight of so many Nigerians as we bring you all the matchup and what to look forward to, talking about the side attractions. It's not only me in the studio. Today I have Ikechukwu makes a return, and we have Maiwa joining us virtually as we take a look at the chances of the Super Eagles picking this one against all odds. It seems like Nigerians are already excited and carried away with the fact that it's going to be easy peasy for the Eagles, but definitely it's not going to be just as easy as Nigerians expect.
Absolutely, this is one of those games where we're expecting to the Super Eagles to actually really give a good account of themselves, considering the fact that in games like this anything can actually happen when you're playing against a team that's considered a minor in this regards. Jerry, good evening, and thanks for having me here in locker room. Last time we were here together, the Super Eagles got all 3 points away from home. We were expecting to actually get 3 points in this particular one as well.
All right, we expect Maiwa to join us virtually. And Maiwa, how excited and pumped up are you for this game?
I'm very excited. It's another Tuesday of World Cup qualifier, and I'm hoping Super Eagles will deliver. And the 90 minutes that the boys will play, I think they need to make it joyous for us. The Zimbabweans, they are not a team to joke with. Yes, we're able to dispatch the Rwandans and we're able to outplay the Rwandans. However, the Zimbabweans might be another kettle of fish, and there's a need for us to ensure that we dot our eyes and we cross our T's, that no mistake is allowed, and we win that particular game. Anything outside the win, we are not heading to the World Cup. And I think, Eric and the boys, I think they are up to the task.
Okay, look at the starting 11 for that game, and so far so good. We see the usual suspects. Talking about he's sticking with the diamond formation, which is being called. Talking about Lukman and Victor Osimhen, the 2 African footballers in the past 2 years, manning the attack. We also see Samuel Chukwueze started in this one alongside Aino, and of course Brian Samuel. There's also Moses Simon playing from the flanks as well. There's Wilfred Ndidi alongside Alex will be Ekong Bansi and Stanley Nwambali. Would you say that the man wants to continue what has worked against Rwanda in this game against Zimbabwe?
Absolutely, there's no need to change a winning team. There's actually also no need to change a winning formation. If you look at the way the Zimbabweans are playing and also the Rwanda, there seems to be a huge similarity between both sides. So yes, I mean, there's really no need to actually change anything. And one thing the Zimbabwean coach, talking about Mikel Nice, was actually saying about the Super Eagles was that the Super Eagles team, talking about Charles, now they keep changing tactics and formation during the game, and that's exactly what Diamonds do. I mean, if you look at the shape of Diamonds, when it's struck light, when there's a light focus to it, you see that there's no definite shape you want to actually pinpoint to the diamond. It keeps rotating, you keep changing its position, and exactly what the Super Eagles actually did in that particular game and got the 3 points. Yes, it's going to be a very big one, and I do not expect the manager to actually move away from what has actually given him the first 3 points. There's no need. This is not the time for trial and error. This is the time to actually stick to what actually works, and we've seen that this particular team, this players like Fire Onyeka, much later in the future, but then at this point, let's stick to what works and get to the World Cup and as soon as possible.
All right, Maiwa, you see the starting 11. We see situation Eric Charles is sticking with what actually worked for him in the first game against Rwanda. So no more changes, no changes at all.
ultimately, you don't change a winning team, as the saying goes. And the team played, so well against Rwanda. Nigeria controlled that particular game, and in all honesty, the team showed a bit of understanding with each other in terms of how they fight for balls, in terms of how they pass the ball, in terms of their positioning. They are beginning to show huge understanding, and I think that is a foundation. So definitely, there is no reason to change the winning team except maybe there are injuries. So definitely, I would have been surprised if we have seen something different. Maybe a lot of people might have said why is Chukwueze mostly on the left hand side, and Chukwueze did not step up as much as we want to. If he does the same thing today, I would expect that he doesn't stay as long as he stayed in that first game. I think Chukwueze needs to start pulling his weight. In the first game, we didn't see him pull his weight, and that also affected how we score more goals in that particular game. I hope he's able to step up today, such that we're able to dispatch the Zimbabweans.
All right, hopefully we'll be able to dispatch the Zimbabweans. And let's take a look at Samuel Chukwueze's issue. A lot of Nigerians were not happy with his performance, but let's not also forget he gave that assist that led to Victor Osimhen's goal. Definitely the most, because maybe the team was mostly doing all of the activities from the left flank, because Ademola Lookman was running from the left alongside Moses Simon, who were much more with the ball, unlike Samuel Chukwueze and Victor Osimhen, who was more or less playing the number 9 position as far as I'm concerned, and Lookman supporting, coming from the left mostly alongside Moses Simon. So Samuel Chukwueze was mostly not having the balls at his own part of the pitch.
Well, one thing we need to actually also look at is the fact that the coach was very tactical with his decision to stick with Samuel Chukwueze. Samuel Chukwueze actually played to instruction 100%. We remember Thierry once said that in a particular game in La Liga, where Pep Guardiola asked him to actually play in a certain position because of the strength of the fullback in that particular the strength of the fullback of the opponent, not to pressure Dani Alves in that particular game. But then Thierry wasn't getting the ball, and he decided to actually switch position. Immediately he switched position, the ball came to him and he got a goal and he got replaced. But before that thing happened, that particular player that Henry kept at bay because of his presence, kept moving and kept threatening Barcelona's defense line. Every attack most times, attack in a team or in the football field, attack starts from the left. And Samuel Chukwueze was actually positioned in that part of the field to actually cut the attack of these Rwandans. And he might not actually get enough of the ball, but his presence was actually a very big problem because he's very slicky and he knows how to actually handle the ball. So he was instrumental in actually checking the Rwandans, and that's exactly what actually worked for the Super Eagles that day. Because if for a side that's actually playing at home, a side that's actually on top of the log, they were brewing with confidence. They have everything going for them. They were not under pressure. If they lost the game, they were still very much at the top. So it tells you that in that particular game, if we had allowed that, just open the game because we feel okay, Samuel Chukwueze is not very much informed, we decide to use someone else, and then that person decide not to actually stick to instruction or decide to just attack. Sometimes coaches look at all of these, little details that we fans might not really look into. What else do we want? Is it a player that will stick to instruction and you get the 3 points, or a player that will just want to play to carry or play to enjoy himself, and at the end of the day you struggle to win a game?
All right, playing to the gallery, and let's go over to those are the sides of that game. Is still goalless after 12 minutes. 15 minutes already. Most especially, of course, but taking a look at Olai not playing from the left again. Mayowa, what do you think about sticking with I know Summer put him in an uncomfortable position, but the man didn't complain. He did the job as he was given, more or less looking like an utility player.
This is not the first time he's playing from that position. We know he can play from either the right or the left. This is not the first time he's doing it, and that's why the coach is confident enough, to put him in that particular space. As you can see, his performance in the first game is an indication that yes, that might not be his natural position. He's very comfortable playing in that particular position. I mean, in the first game, they are always on the attack. They are always jump starting the attack, and it shows how comfortable he was. Even the Rwandans, they never exploit natural left footer. It shows how versatile he is. I think he's doing a good job playing. Hence the reason why an NHL has decided to deploy him there. I think if you look at the other person that probably played there, I think it's an probably play from that particular position. And if you look at what Olaino has been able to a natural left, also if a Bright Osai Samuel is taken out, definitely we can have Olaino shift to that particular side and probably make. Presently, as it is right now, I think he's doing a fantastic job. The Zimbabweans almost having a chance to score.
All right, and of course, the Zimbabweans are not just going to watch the Super Eagles bamboozle them, and it will be, would I say, unhealthy to have the Super Eagles believe that they should be complacent and hope that the Zimbabweans will just be there for the kill. They are not going to come without a fight. And of course, their coach has already been talking about and drew that game against Benin Republic.
Absolutely. This is sure going to be a very interesting game. I mean, we've been talking about the build-up of this game. Musuma was talking tough. Jalai also was saying something also yesterday. These guys are actually very hungry. They have a manager who understands the game, who is way more experienced than the manager that we have. I mean, he was part of the backroom staff for England 2006 World Cup. So it tells you about the team. They might not have the quality when it comes to peer-to-peer, but then they have a team, and coming to Nigeria to play against a side that is, that has been struggling before now, it tells you that yes, this is also going to be a confidence booster for them. It's not the Super Eagles that have shown that over the years they've got all it takes to actually dominate, teams in Africa. But then we are at that point where the game is already on. Like I said in the last game, that if we can get our first goal in between the first 25 minutes, it's a very good one for the Super Eagles. The Super Eagles have not really get into, but I know that as time progresses, this game is going to really open up. At this point in time, it's still going to be much of testing each other's strength and then tactics and all of that. But then when we get to that 20-minute mark, then the game will officially really open, and then the best side's quality and then how much of strategy you brought into the game will start really showing.
All right, and of course, there's a certain Musona. He's a very dangerous man for the Zimbabweans, and that is if the Super Eagles really are taking a good account of what to expect from talking about the Zimbabwean national team. Maiwa, Musona has been talking tough. He scored in the last game against Benin Republic, where Zimbabwe are looking like they are out of that one. He's also in the starting lineup for this one. Definitely is a player to look out for. I hope the Super Eagles have been briefed on how dangerous he is.
The interesting part is this: Musona has been talking about this game for the past 8 months. He has been talking about this particular game for the and he's ready to make a point. I mean, the guy is 35-year-old, but the way he's moving, he's not moving like a 35-year-old. He has said it. He said they are capable, they have the quality to be able to go past Nigeria. And with what we are seeing at the moment, it seems they are not going to lie down for us to just walk over them. I think what they want to do is, absorb the pressure and hit us on the successfully once. Unfortunately, they couldn't hit the target when that was successful, and that is what we should be very, very wary of in this particular game. So definitely, I'm expecting a very tough game, but I just hope that the way we are able to score an early goal against Rwanda, we are able to do the same thing, because if we do not get an early goal and these guys continue to grow, they might begin to have it in their head that if we cannot even get a victory, we can as well fight for a draw, which I don't want to see.
See the beautiful walk there. Oh, wow, that was really close, and it was blown for offside. Of course, those are the kind of football we would expect. Where we expect the goals to come from, because Trustekong has said that a lot of people are saying that the Super Eagles is a one-man team. Talking about Victor Osimhen, that Victor Osimhen is not available, they don't have chances of winning games. He has said that Victor Osimhen is very, very important to the team, but the Super Eagles is not a one-man team. How do they prove everybody wrong? If not Victor Osimhen, they will not be able to get 3 points.
I mean, every good team at some point, check all through history, teams that have dominated Europe or sports. It is normal. The Barcelona side that conquered Europe between 2009 and 2012 were labeled Lionel Messi team. It is the Ronaldinho side that also did, what they did between 2004 and 2006 were labeled the Ronaldinho team. It is normal. If you have a player who is a superstar in your team, it is so normal that his presence will always make the difference. Cristiano Ronaldo for Real Madrid, at some point people say Cristiano Ronaldo, without Cristiano Ronaldo, no Real Madrid. So I don't even want to see this as an issue. The beautiful thing is the player that in question is a Nigerian player. So let's leave it at that. But then Osimhen's people who are actually saying this, for me, this is what I see. They actually might be saying this to actually dampen the morale of the team. So that you start creating a sort of enmity. I think these guys should actually look beyond this. Most of these guys have actually been with players that are actually big, in their clubs. They know what it feels like to be shared a room with players who are actually very big. So you don't look at these things because if you place this thing at the front burner, it breeds enmity. It starts bringing some level of hatred. You start looking at this man like, okay, perhaps he might also be feeling that without him, you guys cannot do nothing. I want them to see this as one of those noise, that you hear in the market. Just focus on who you are buying or selling from. That's the most important thing at this point.
All right, so that's what you're buying and selling at this point. So of course, we could see a very, very dangerous move coming from the Warriors of Zimbabwe, and the defense will need to be up to speed. They should not go to sleep, because if they do, they will get punished by the Zimbabweans. And that is one thing. They are at home. They should not be complacent. They should not feel that the Zimbabweans are going to be pushed over. We've seen Lesotho come here to play draw, and we've seen teams that normally the Super Eagles are supposed to beat. They're struggling against those teams just because they were complacent at some point in time. Maiwa, I think such a dangerous move should not be allowed again, because I don't know whether Wabali, okay, Maiwa is not with us. Maybe he has gone to talk to Wabali there. But that,
Jerry, before this double header, before this month of March, we're talking about this game, in the build-up of this game. One thing I kept saying is my biggest fear is this Zimbabwe side. The Super Eagles have a very terrible attitude of lying down when they meet a side that they consider minor. It is the biggest problem. Even from the days of the JJs, they have this very complacent attitude. The only difference at that point was that the stars that we have are actually so good that individually they can actually just get around their ways. But now we don't really have this quality of players as we used to have then, and football in Africa have really grown. So it shows a lot these days. And here we are today. We are playing against the side. Yes, it's still very much early. We can still very much win this game, but you can actually see the way we started the game against Rwanda. The first 20 minutes at this point, the Super Eagles were all hungry. You see that yes, this game is a game that we really want to win. But then look at this game. These guys are actually having it comfortable. Yes, you might also want to say the pressure that comes with playing from home is also part of what is actually affecting us. But then trust me, it is one of those things that we've been struggling with. Perhaps it's our own Achilles heel. But then I just hope that at the end of the way, they will find a way to get past it and get the 3 points.
all right, and of course, where will the goals come from if not Osimhen? Because other players should definitely be able to step up. Apart from Osimhen, who was really making real goal threats, as you see a lot of players who were really goal threats in the space of that first game against Rwanda.
Another problem that the Super Eagles have, or will be having in this particular game, is that we're going to be playing against a side that wants to actually sit and actually absorb pressure and heat. Against the Rwandans actually played us here, and they felt like, you know what? I mean, this Super Eagles team, we saw them, they're actually not different. It's still the same couple of players that want to play. So they came all out in their home, rally around their 12th man, feeling like, yes, it's a game that they can actually win. The Super Eagles also came out to actually break this team down. It's going to really give you a problem. And that's why this game might actually be very, very difficult to win. Again, yes, the Super Eagles have the quality, individuals actually win it. We can still very much win it. But just see it that this particular thing is going to be one of those hurdles that we're going to really, really struggle to climb in the 90 minutes of this particular game.
All right, and taking a look at this game properly, I hope we'll not have a situation where we might say Adino, because it's going to be a very critical one for the Super Eagles to win this game and better their chances, because as we speak, the South Africans are also as well taking on the Benin side, though there's stories coming out from the South African camp. But before I go into this, we need to get 3 points in this game. It's non-negotiable. It's better the chance of the Super Eagles as far as making it to the World Cup if that is going to happen, because when the ball is not in our court, as the case is, but then we need to do our own part and hope that the other results will favor the Super Eagles. I'm going to see a situation where we might have to be worried for this Zimbabwe game, because what we are seeing so far, we should be expecting an early goal like we saw against Rwanda, and we're already having 20 minutes plus into this first 45 minutes. Are we seeing the Zimbabweans are doing something better, maybe to go away with a draw in this one?
I mean, in our local parlance, they'll say one road not lead to market. All football games can never be the same, right?
Yeah.
We might not get the early goal, we might start getting the goals in 60 minutes and then in the 60th minute, and then we might just end up getting 4 goals afterwards. It is football, it is not definite, right? But the truth is, yes, if you look at how Zimbabweans have managed to actually set up their actually put their self into the work in this particular game, it shows that they are a side on a mission, right? And of course, I don't want to even dwell on whatever it is that's happening in South Africa. I don't want to look at how South Africans are actually playing. I want to focus on Super Eagles game. Now, if we must actually get it right, we need to actually begin to show character. If you want to score goals, start probing the defense line of these guys. Start showing that, yes, I mean, the number of attempts you start getting tells that, yes, you really want to score goals. I understand the place of, being clinical, even if it's just one chance, get it and bury it. But let's show that we're trailing. So far, we've not really threatened the defense line of the Zimbabweans. Yeah, you want to say it's still early. 45 minutes is not done yet. We still have another 45 minutes after this. But the truth is, the more we put pressure on this Zimbabwean side, the more we show that we've really got what it takes to actually break the defense line, the G3 they become. We've not really shown that, still that fear. Show them that we've got that fear factor so that the goals will start coming. I mean, even if the goals doesn't start coming, let them start committing fouls, because all of these things is what is going to be building up the pressure to weaken, the morale of the Zimbabwean side.
All right, and of course, weaken the morale of the Zimbabweans. So let's talk about the tactical abilities of the both coaches. We've seen Nice proving that, at least with what we've seen so far, he has a tactical plan. Let's look at Rachel. Judging from what we've seen against Rwanda and what we are seeing right now, are we seeing something bigger or something different?
Tactically.
Or maybe updates, better, maybe with what we've seen the first leg, for the first game against Rwanda. There's some tactical progression in terms of
the fact that he's sticking to his first team, the team that actually executed the Rwanda game, and the same diamond formation. The reason is that, of course, Nice actually had a plan, and he planned around this particular style. So let's see how this style is going to actually function. Let's see the weakness of the Zimbabweans, playing against this particular style. Yes, I want to believe that Eric Shell is actually reading the game, following the game as it progresses. He's now actually looking at an alternative, because there's obviously going to be an alternative to this particular plan if this plan doesn't work. And also, he's also going to be looking at the weakness of the Rwandans, the Zimbabweans, I beg your pardon, to see if there's actually need to be there's a need to actually bring a character and still stick to the plan. And leave the characters on the field. So it still depends on what the coach will still want to do. But then I just want to say that at this point, right, tactically, the both managers that we faced, I think this one is way better. But then Eric Charles, for now, is still very much the same man.
All right, Eric Charles is still much the same man. Maiwa, it's great to have you back. I said that maybe you went to call the goalkeeper coach to speak to Wambale, not to try that again, and the defenders. Yeah. We almost caught napping in that one.
Well, I quickly consulted my people in the LABG. Maybe they can help us out today. but in any case, I mean the thing is this: the Zimbabweans are making the game very difficult. If you look at any time we are on the ball, they have at least 8 persons behind the ball, 8 persons in front of their 18, and it's going to be very difficult. Remember the last time we played Libya, at the Uyo Stadium. The same tactics the Libyans deployed that we ended up scoring 1 goal, ended up winning 1-0, is the same thing the Rwandans are trying to do. Defend very well, hit us on the counter, and get the goal. And that is just the plan, basically. Because if they come out and play like the Rwandans did, we have a whole lot of space to operate in. And they've surrendered the midfield to us. They don't mind giving up the ball in the midfield. What they do is, immediately they give up the ball, they go back, they defend in numbers, and to break down such such kind of defense is very, very difficult. However, our players in this kind of situation our players, they need to start, take players around the 18 to get fouls committed against them. Probably we might break them down via a set piece. But if you try to want to walk the ball into the 18, that might be very, very difficult because of how the Rwandans are lining up. They want to frustrate us. And, because they are frustrating us and because they are giving us a opportunity to play, we'll be playing a high line because the defense will have to come outside. They will be in the midfield. And any break from them and any mistake from us might result in a goal for them. So we have to be very, very careful with these Zimbabweans because that is their game plan based on what I'm seeing at the moment.
All right, and of course, still taking a look as the progress of this game is concerned, let's talk about South African situation. We hear that the NFF is pushing for FIFA to deduct 3 points from South Africa for fielding an ineligible player against Lesotho. It happened to us in 2018? I can't remember. Yeah, 2018, which Shehu Abdullahi was fielded and 3 points was deducted from the Super Eagles, but though they still qualified for the World Cup. So South Africa, they should know better. A player who has been suspended should not be playing in a very crucial World Cup qualifier game, and they won that game by 2-0. And now it looks like I have to lose 3 points. As at the last check, CAF has said they are going to investigate that situation, and meaning that FIFA is already been updated, and that means the NFF will have to make sure that they also play their own part in reminding FIFA in case they are going to forget, because it's part of the administrative role of the NFF to make sure that everything is fair and square in the interest of the Super Eagles. And what does that mean for South Africa? First of all, why would they make such an administrative mistake? When the NFF made such a mistake, everybody blasted the NFF at that time, but people didn't really take it that big again because the Super Eagles was already good in terms of qualifying. I think it was Ken Otro. We're already qualified, so they don't change anything. Imagine what it would mean for South Africa if these 3 points cost them from qualifying for the World Cup.
I mean, bad omen. It's one of those terrible, mistakes that you want to you make and hoping that nobody.
What does this mean for the FA, the South African FA, for not doing due diligence?
Well, I'm not going to say they didn't do due diligence. Perhaps they might feel no one is actually looking, no one is actually watching. Sometimes people do these things and get away with it. But then it's so unfortunate that it's a crucial qualifying. But again, the first people that raised alarm was the Lesothans, that they actually played against. So Lesotho actually raised alarm in this particular game that, hey, this guy's actually fielded, a player that's ineligible. And then the Super Eagles, the Nigerian FA took it up. And, like they say, he carried on for head like Gala. For hold up. And then, I mean, it became this at this point. It has gotten to the highest level. There's no way South Africa is not going to be penalized if they are found guilty. And if that happens, there's going to be a lot of pressure because before now, remember, South African coach Hugo Bruce was actually saying that they have no business with Nigeria. All they need to do is to win all of their games. That whatever it is that happens against Nigeria and them, 4 points are dream. Even if Nigeria defeats them, they're still going to qualify. That's 1 point difference. So at this point, that's 3 points is going to. If that 3 point get chopped off, there's going to be a lot of pressure. When we play South Africa, it is going to be a game that they will not want, a very difficult game to play. But when they come all out to play, it's going to be a lot easier. I mean, we have a manager who has actually played against them before. He defeated them in the last AFCON. So it's going to be an interesting game playing them. And if they actually deduct these points, their next game, they will also be under serious pressure because they want to win at all costs. And what happens to you when you want to win at all costs? You start making mistakes.
All right, I think, I don't know, maybe somehow, Irabiji and Co, the Mayowa went to, beginning to work together for good for the Super Eagles, because I don't know, all of a sudden, South Africa decided to make the mistake of fielding an ineligible player. He played for 81 minutes. He was booked in the match they won game against Lesotho and against Zimbabwe on match day 4. He played 52 minutes. In the 52nd minute, he was given a booking. And in the FIFA rule book, it states that if a player has accumulated bookings and should be suspended for the next game, which is match day 5. But unfortunately, this same Teboho played 81 minutes in that win against Lesotho. What does this mean? If it were the NFF, everybody will bring out daggers and say that some people's heads should roll. South Africa should be a country that do due diligence, unless they knew and intentionally wanted to play foul play, and it's going to catch up with them. But I think there are a lot of other players who would have played instead of Mokoena. They would have still won. But though he's a crucial player in the team, but there are still other players who would have still done his job. They didn't need to feed an ineligible player just to get 3 points.
The thing is, somebody in the team, somebody in the FA, the head needs to roll. There is a job that's the job of somebody in that particular team to track all those things. Also, CAF too, at this level of competition, CAF that is issuing out yellow card, they also need to track it. In as much as you want to put the blame on South Africa, yes, but they are supposed to do the right thing because that is cheating. CAF too, they are supposed to track all these things. However, if you know and you knowingly field a player, whether you know or you don't know, it means you didn't do your job well. There is no excuse for this. And probably the God that wants to see Nigeria in the World Cup is the reason why South Africa decided to make this kind of mistake. Because as far as I'm concerned, their FA is much more organized than most FAs across Africa. How they make this kind of mistake, somebody needs to be fired for that. And that's just the honest truth. There is no reason why you will field an ineligible player against a Lesotho, not against Nigeria, not against Benin Republic, against Lesotho, the whipping boys of the team. You went to field an ineligible player. It doesn't make any logical sense. The rules are very clear. If you do that, points need to be deducted because as far as I'm concerned, that player affected the result of that particular game, which is the 3 points we are talking about. If that 3 points is taken away, South Africa will probably be on maybe 8 points or 10 points should they win this particular game, or 8 points, whatever the result might be. But taking away that 3 points, it will be very, very crucial for Nigeria. However, games at the moment we are not doing that. Chukwueze having a chance and blowing it over the goalpost. I don't know what he was thinking about.
All right, so don't know what he was thinking about, and I think on the part of the player, he should also be able to keep records, except him too wanted to be funny, and that means they are going to be deducted of 3 points and 3 goals. Even the goal they scored, not even in that game. Maybe another game they used 1-0 to win. That goal might be cancelled, and that may go to 1 point. It's a really difficult situation for the South Africans. I
mean, Jerry, Mokoena, you're saying another player would have played. Mokoena is a very, very important player in that team. Very important. I mean, just imagine Liverpool is squaring up against a side and they decide to play Javier Elliott ahead of Mo Salah because any other player can actually be part of the team. Yes, Javier Elliott will actually give his best, but then you cannot compare the quality he's going to bring. Even if he's not in his day, right, his presence will always make difference. That's exactly what Mokoena is not just a key player of the team, he's also a leader in that team. So they need his presence to actually go, when they are going into one of these big games. So you want to go fight a war, you need your general to be in front, to lead from the front. So yes, if it were Nigeria, heads would have been rolling, we would have been calling for heads to roll. In South Africa, I promise you that in South Africa, as we speak right now, people are also calling for the head of the FA who made this thing happen, to actually roll. You remember the rivalry between Nigeria and South Africa when it comes to football? It's not like Nigeria will say, no be beans. It's one of those rivalry that every team wants to get the best. Now you are in the same group with Nigeria. Nigeria is stopping you from going to the World Cup. You know what it's going to mean, and the reason you're not going to the World Cup, not because you are not good enough, but because you made a silly mistake. These are the sort of things that will always bring an uproar in a country. So trust me, right? This is a very big problem for them. Losing this 3 points, all we need to do at this point is to capitalize. But as I see this game that is going, Jerry, with every single minute into this game, the Nigerian Super Eagles are beginning to be agitated. The patient build-up is no longer there. They're trying to actually force play. They want to win at all costs, and it's going to be very, very dangerous. Like you said earlier on, they are trying to actually frustrate us, put us in a corner, and this is one of those games you don't want to be in. This is one of those positions you don't want to be in a very crucial game. Nigeria needs to actually relax. Yes, you might want to say the time is going, but we still have a lot to actually play. We should relax at this point and ensure that we do what we need to do right. And Shea is already putting his leg on his shoulder. Perhaps this might not be one of those days we'll have to put on his head because he's just into his second game for his.
All right, and of course, the chat box is already having a lot of agitated Nigerians. Someone is even asking that what's happening with the tiki-taka. that he established against Mali. Let's not forget, this is his second game. Tiki-taka is not going to start overnight. At least we saw some bit of build-up play against Rwanda. Some are saying that we're not seeing what we saw against Rwanda. But definitely you forget that this team is defending differently, because if you take a look at the Rwandans, they wanted to also win that game. The Zimbabweans are coming here to spoil the party for the Super Eagles. You're not going to expect them to go toe-to-toe with the Eagles. They are mostly sitting back. I don't even know whether they even have plan to attack majorly, but they take chances when it comes. When the opportunity comes, they want to take it. Maiwa.
Well, the thing is this: the Yorubas will say, until the Fuwaya Tunda Warani. That is what the Zimbabweans are. They know they can't qualify, but let's drag down Nigeria with us, and that is what they are doing at the moment. Because, to be honest, they are playing what they call Mourinho kind of football, negative football. That is what they are playing at the moment. Packing the box and trying to hit us on the counter. And like Ikechukwu rightly said, our guys are getting agitated, and the pressure is another pressure playing in front of your own supporters at home. You want to deliver at all costs, and as the time is going, as time is ticking by, you want to hasten up and see if you can quickly get the goals, and that might not work in our favor, because the thing is you have to push up more, and the Zimbabweans, we have a lot of room to play with, and that's what they are doing. Get the ball from the back and do a long ball. That's what they have been doing all day, and we have to be very, very careful about that. The guys need to calm down a bit. They need to calm down. What they need to do more is to ensure that they take on these players when they are not coming out. Take them on, get a whole lot of fouls, and let's see if we can, get set pieces that probably give us an inch closer to their, to their goalkeeper or even their goal. Remember, the last game, the way we take our set piece has really, really improved, and we got a goal even from the set piece. And in this particular game, set piece has been fine between. That is when we need players that can take on other players and cause a lot of foul that will give us room to be able to play set piece. Because if we want to break these people down, it's going to be very, very difficult unless we catch them when they are switched off. That's when we take them. That's when we can do our interplay and probably score a goal in this particular game.
All right, I think I'm not really impressed with the talking about the balls in the final third of this game. Passes that connect and give the attackers chances of scoring goals. I think the Eagles players, I hope they will not be in a situation where they will regret not taking their chances when they have them. Yeah, I understand what they're trying to do. Since these guys have decided to sit back, try and pick up spaces in the 18-yard box to at least give the attacker. I remember the days of Mikel Obi. He used to give us those kind of passes. Even the likes of JJ Okocha, Kanu Nwankwo was excellent in terms of picking up spaces in the 18-yard box. But who do we have now? We're supposed to have Alex Iwobi, but fortunately, I don't know, Alex Iwobi has lost his touch in terms of that. I don't know whether Moses Simon is built for that as well. I think I've not been impressed with his touch in the final third. Then Ademola Lookman, is he the assistant we want in this game? I'm still not seeing that yet. And of course, Victor Osimhen is being left frustrated, and the Zimbabweans are already employing time-wasting tactics. Yeah.
I mean, Jerry, the last particular against Rwanda, when we're discussing the formation of Super Eagles, we're talking about the two guys in the middle of the park playing as central midfielder, talking about Iwobi and Ndidi actually shoving and mopping up that middle of the park. Why the chief creator of that particular game was actually Samuel Chukwueze and Moses Simon. They were the one who was actually giving the space to actually find those players in the final third, right? Having them doing the same job again. These guys are not naturally known to be those players that will give you those. Maybe for Samuel Chukwueze, he might have that slicky touch, those penetrating passes. But then they are not known to be this natural who always do those things on a good day, like the likes of Eden Hazard and co. But then we have to actually make those passes. We've got about 3 or 4 chances to actually make those little passes to break the defense of this. But then these guys actually did not actually meet up to that expectation. We've even had chances where these balls have been caught back guys also did not, make do with that chance. Now the problem with games like this is you keep getting those chances, and then one of those chances will definitely return back to the opponent, and if they utilize it, it's definitely going to demoralize you. I just hope that before the Zimbabweans manage or hope to get another chance, the Super Eagles must have actually scored 2 goals, because in this sort of games, this is exactly what is most likely going to happen. We saw this happen in Champions League in 2006, where AC Milan actually played Liverpool. I mean, 2005, where AC Milan actually played against Liverpool. AC Milan had a lot of chances. They were only able to score 3 goals in the first half.
Yeah, and then far. PSG, Liverpool,
they scored 8 chances and they squandered it, and then Javier just came in with the first shot. So these things happen all of this time. And if the Super Eagles is going to be so painful, because this is a game we should have just easily won. Again, at this point, they should just take it easy, because this is one of those things that when you rush too much.
The Nets, if you take a look at the Zimbabweans, with what we have seen so far in the first almost 45 minutes of that game, the Zimbabweans have avoided set pieces. They have avoided fouls close to the interior box.
Yes.
They are not making any fouls, because they've read the game against Rwanda that the Super Eagles are dangerous with set pieces and corners. If you notice, they've limited the amount of corners, they've limited the amount of fouls. Even most of the game, I've not even seen the Super Eagles have any, talking about direct free kick into the interior box. So it looks like the coach of the Zimbabweans have read the game, and his boys are playing the script very well. Maiwa.
Yeah, definitely. That's one thing I alluded to. Our set piece has improved, and any right thinking coach, we know that you don't commit any foul against the Nigerians, and that is what they've been doing very well. They are having about 8-9 people behind the ball, and yet we are not winning fouls. What does that tell us? What our players do is this: they force our player to the side, especially on the left-hand side. They've practically closed off Chukwueze on the right, so most of the attack is coming from the left. They force us to the far left, very close to the corner, and we are forced to try and cut back and play the ball back into the 18, where you have 3-4 persons crowding out and Osimhen, and that is getting Osimhen frustrated. Another thing they've been avoiding is that they don't come in close contact to you, such that you don't take ball player. We need a Doku kind of player in this particular game that can frustrate your life and also win fouls from you. Our players are not doing that yet. If we begin to do that, we'll probably get 1, 2, 3 fouls. That gives us an opportunity to be able to hit them, via set piece. What they are doing is really working well. Force the Nigerians to the far left, force them to cross the ball back in, crowd out, Osimhen in the 18. Ademola Lookman is also in the 18. We also need another presence in the 18. It has always been Victor Osimhen in that 18. That needs to change. Somebody needs to be complimenting Osimhen in that particular 18, because they are beginning to crowd out Osimhen, and we will not get anywhere with that. Take on the players, take them on, get somebody else in the 18, and I think we'll be able to break the Zimbabweans down in terms of scoring goals.
All right, we've seen enough in the first 45 minutes of that game. No goals yet. How disappointed would Nigerians be? Because in Rwanda, as at the first 45 minutes, we're already 2-0 up. But it looks like it's a different kettle of fish. Are the players going to be frustrated?
Absolutely. They were expecting to actually get... In fact, Nigerians are actually expecting to actually get a goal, at least in the first half, considering that we're actually playing at home. But then it's one of those games where you expect that by at certain time of the game you should have actually been leading in a particular game. But then you see yourself struggling. Now, let me quickly talk about the things Maiwa said. Right now, these guys are actually doing a lot of job. When you're playing against a side that is less in quality, this is where I'm actually giving credit to their manager Nis. Nis understands that when you want to play against a side that they have superior firepower, our attack is bigger than the defense of these Zimbabweans. What he did is not to actually make them go play man marking. They actually had to make do with shadow marking. And when a team plays shadow marking, it gives room for it makes the attacking force, or the opponent attacking force, a little bit confused, because you don't even know how to actually go about them. Now, what the Super Eagles need to do at this point is to actually be patient. And again, he said something very instructive about somebody, a ball player in the middle of the park. We still lack that thing, and this is where I'm going to give Victor Boniface an opportunity to actually come play behind Victor Osimhen. Yes,
we need a striker. You are calling for Victor Boniface.
Come play behind Victor Osimhen and then push perhaps Ademola Lookman to the side, right? Let's see him.
Chukwueze on the bench,
perhaps, or takes Moses Simon out because he's really not being part of the game. So let's have a different feel to that game. Victor Boniface is very good with his leg. He's actually very good as a second striker. So let's see how he's going to actually complement Victor Osimhen in this particular game. We've always been clamoring for an opportunity to actually see the both of them play. They actually are attacking face in Europe. So let's get to see that. Perhaps, I'm just looking at how the coach might actually be saying this. Again, another thing we need to really do is that we should also ensure that Alex Iwobi plays a little bit higher up the field because it's really sitting too deep in the middle of the park, expecting those guys in the rear to actually do the job of the creator-in-chief. I want to see him also step up because the more he moves up, the more he pushes these guys back. The truth is that so far we've really not had a bad game, but we've had problem with breaking down the defense of these guys. We've not really seen those core defense splitting pass. You mentioned the likes of Mikel Obi, JJ Okocha, and Nwankwo Kanu. We want to see those sort of passes. Let's see players with those level of ingenuity. Let's get our first goal and let us all relax.
All right, we have Taoreed on the line all the way from Chicago, United States of America. Great to have you join us. I hope you've enjoyed the first 45 minutes of that game.
Chukwueze need to go out of this game. No, you need to go out of this game. Because we need number 10 that he can dribble, and which is dribble, but the final pass is problem. We need final pass. These people, Lookman and Osimhen, they're ready to put the ball inside, but their final pass is weak. The problem we have.
Yeah.
This guy, Simon. Yeah, he can still make it up with his crossing, but the Chukwueze final pass is wrong. He don't have final pass. He can dribble, which is dribble them. They already know him that he's going to dribble them. So now they're setting for him because they already know that he cannot use his right, and they can't use that right for anything. Daniel, I'm telling you, I want to see that guy. That Papa Daniel is going to do that job for us. I'm telling you, but it's okay. We win this game. I want to know what is cost for the South Africa and this guy.
Still goalless. So it's still goalless for in that game. So we're hoping that Benin Republic will do the needful for the Super Eagles in that one. Okay, thank you very much, Reed. You heard it here. It's still goalless in the game between Benin Republic and the Bafana of South Africa. Of course, they're also in trouble. I don't know whether the South Africans should be settled, knowing the fact that they might be going through a ban. And of course, taking a look at the first 5 minutes of that game, the ball possession. I think this ball possession, I don't know, Zimbabwe having 61%. Was that really the picture of what we saw? Maybe that was wrong. 39% because the Zimbabweans were looking like they don't want to play. And 5 shots so far, and just 1 on target. Really not too good for a team that wants to win, most especially when they're playing at home. And the corner kicks, just like I rightly said, just 1 corner kick to show. And if they are going to play like this, I think it's going to be difficult. Even the Super Eagles have even had more fouls compared to the Zimbabweans, who have been very careful to have fouls anywhere close to the 18-yard box. So it means that Nice have been doing the tactical job better than talking about Eric Sekou. Chel needs to prove to us that he knows what he's doing.
And let me ask
because if you're in a difficult situation, every good coach always faces difficult situations in difficult games. What gives them extra edge is to be able to do when the team is in a difficult situation. That's what we want to see the next 45 minutes.
Why did you laugh when Tarid mentioned Papa Daniel?
Yeah, I think he has sentiments towards Papa Daniel. It's good to have sentiments towards a player. But is Papa Daniel really because if you're in a difficult situation, you don't always say it. It's good to say you want home-based players, but when these chips are down, how confident will a coach, if he brings in Papa Daniel now and this game ends goalless? Some will say, this coach is now, he doesn't know what he's doing. We're in a serious situation. Don't worry, you bring Mama who, please. Fine. If we are winning, then you bring in Papa Daniel to see if he can build up on that and show us something. But now in a difficult situation, I don't think bringing a rookie will be a very interesting one, except if the coach really believes he can do it. There's nothing wrong. But will you be confident as a fan, somebody who's watching from the flanks, chips are down, you want to bring in Papa Daniel?
Well, I understand your sentiments, right?
Yeah.
This is not the time to test rookie.
Yeah,
I'm just asking because I saw you laughing too. And I know your sentiment. I know your sentiment when it comes to Nigerian players. Nigerian players playing in the league. I know what you feel about them.
It's just like you are in let me the Three Lions, for instance. You're in a difficult situation. You're going to bring a player from the championship. You are playing against, let me say, England is playing against Spain. There's a player in the championship they brought in.
No, this is not this game is not an England-Spain equivalent.
Okay, let's
you see Latvia.
Latvia. No, this is not Latvia because the Super Eagles is still struggling, even against Zimbabwe now. African boys, you say it's England, Latvia. Let's say England, Greece.
Okay, England, Greece.
England, Greece, and you bring a player from the championship in the qualifier where you are still goalless. You're now going to bring one championship player because you want to include championship players. So people ask about Toresuke, I say, come, I hope he has not collected money from. So it's a difficult situation. To really put a coach.
I get it. I mean, I get it 100%. But I'm just asking because the way you laugh.
Why you emphasizing on?
But the truth is, right? The truth is, Tarit made mention of something very important. If you look at that game, right, one of the very, very instructive things that Nice has done to the Super Eagles attack is to actually cut off Samuel Chukwueze. And how did he do that? He knows that Samuel Chukwueze is actually a left footer who likes to cut in, right? He really moved to the other leg. I mean, that is what we've come to know with left footers of this particular generation, starting from perhaps 2003, 2004. Most left footers have always loved to play from the other side of the field. Now, the problem, what he did was, the person that is actually playing against Chukwueze in that particular position is a natural right footer. So what he does is he blocks Samuel Chukwueze's entrance into the 18 yards, force him to play by the byline, and it's actually not a very good ball crosser with his right foot. So you see where the Super Eagles, that means he's a man down in that particular attack. Now we have to make do with Samuel Moses Simon and Victor Boniface and Ademola Lookman, right? So what they have managed to do is to reduce our number of attacks. Now, knowing that this particular man is no longer there, it's easier for them to actually now checkmate the runnings of these three guys. So the onus now fall on our coach Eric Shell to actually find a way to actually either bring Samuel Chukwueze back into the game, either by actually changing his position or changing him entirely, or bringing in someone else that will actually attract as much interest as Samuel Chukwueze to actually free him and then let the Super Eagles actually fly as much as. I mean, we are supposed to be Super Eagles. Our wings are supposed to be flying. So if one wing of a bird is actually broken, it means the bird is no longer flying.
Pretty interesting. And of course, my wife, look at Zimbabweans are playing like there's a lot at stake for them. I don't know, maybe they told them that if they play a draw in this match, they will go to the World Cup. They're even more serious. Look at the possession of the football and all the stats looking good for the Zimbabweans.
I mean, if your captain has been talking about a game for 8 months, game that they've not even played for 8 months, he's been talking tough about the game for 8 months. You already know what they have in plan, and it will be a feather in their cap if they are able to bring down Nigeria and Nigeria do not qualify. One thing that Ikechukwu has rightly said is this: Iwobi needs to impose himself in that particular game. I need Iwobi to be much more central and much more involved in play. That is not happening at the moment. Number two, Jerry, you might not like this, but it seems we need your friend in this particular game. We need Victor Boniface.
Who's my friend?
Your friend, Victor Boniface.
He's not my friend.
We need Victor Boniface in this game. Because the thing is this: if the Zimbabweans we come out again in the second half and stick to this particular pattern of play, it has served him. Chukwueze, they are making him useless on the right, or where he is, they are forcing him to the right hand side, and he's not able to cross any genuine ball in. We need a ball player, a ball carrier, and that person will probably be a Victor Boniface. Victor Boniface would thrive in this kind of pattern Zimbabweans are playing. They are sitting very close to their 18. Victor Boniface, the ball, goes to them, take them on in front of their 18. They will be forced, to commit fouls. And, we see them go for him, like 2 or 3 of them go after him. He has an opportunity to pass, and we have a Victor Osimhen free for him to be able to score. So we need a Victor Boniface in this particular game. It seems they've been able to clip the wings of Chukwueze, and Chukwueze is not contributing much. And also the coach needs to tell Iwobi, you need to impose yourself in the game. I've not seen Iwobi imposing himself from the midfield, and that needs to change in the second half. Yeah, it needs to change in the second half. Maiwa is just giving us what to expect in the second half. The first half is done and done, dusted, I beg your pardon. And
what I'm expecting from them at this point, first thing, is to off like they've not played these guys before. No need to be agitated, no tension, just come all out, be cool, and then go for the kill. Now, you see, one of the things the Zimbabweans will do in the second half is to actually frustrate. You see more of time killing, you see more of unnecessary foul at perhaps maybe somewhere in the midfield where it's not going to be dangerous it will start irritating the boys, and they need to keep their head calm. These guys have actually played at some of them have actually played at the high level, so they need to understand that yes, this sort of things happen in the second half. Now, for the coach of the Super Eagles should now sit back and look at the weakness of the Zimbabweans. The Zimbabweans' weakness at this point is that if you look at how they've been playing and how they've been defending, their central defense have really shown that they are actually not as good as the likes of Jelaya have been talking about, how they are hoping to actually hold on to Super Eagles. What they've been able to do that have kept the Super Eagles at bay is the basic thing, which is actually to cut off the Super Eagles from the flank where we actually have our most strength. So if we can actually put more pressure, that's why the likes of Victor Boniface, who can actually hold on to the ball very well, needs to actually come into play. If we can also draft Samuel Chukwueze to the middle and push Moses Simon to the other side and Ademola Lookman, it is going to also work. We need somebody who can actually hold on to the ball, drive them through the middle, because a lot of pressure needs to be applied into the center back. When we have a lot of pressure, it will force those guys at the flank to actually come in. We have 2 players marking each of our wingers at every point in time in the flank. So we need one of their chances. All right, and of course you can see the second half has just started, and I saw the pictures of the was it the socks or the hose of the players? I hope when they were not torn, or it's just a design. Anyway, well, if you take a look at it, some Nigerians are not too comfortable that when we are at home, we don't really play very well. And if that's become a tradition, I think it's not a good one going into home games, because home games are the most important games for any team when it comes to qualifiers for World Cup or the Nations Cup, as the case may be. If it's really going to be a difficult one if we continue to struggle when we play at home against African teams, which ordinarily should be getting the spanking. It will be time past whenever the Eagles play at home, we're expecting 4-0, 5-0 against African side, but that is no longer the case. Teams come back here in Uyo, most especially. I don't know if there's something about this Uyo Stadium. We lost to South Africa. Was it prior to the World Cup qualifier? I remember that Kenneth Tumero trying to chase down the ball. We lost 2-0 to the Bafana in this same Uyo. It has not been a lucky ground when it comes to the Super Eagles. When it comes to the World Cup qualifiers, if I want to put it that way. But I hope that will not be the case. And the white jersey, and look at this white jersey. But anyway, they are at home, they should be wearing the green jersey. Exactly. I mean, Jerry, it's so funny. We are at home, we should be putting on the green jersey. If we were away, put on the white, I understand why that's the case. But then being at home and then put on the white jersey. But hey, this is not the time to actually complain about jersey. The game is already on, and we just need to find a way to actually break into this defense line of this, the Zimbabwean side. And so far, so good. The second half just started, and we're just hoping that we'll find a way to actually do what's needful. The coach might not actually go into early substitution, but I'm beginning to see that the likes of Alex Iwobi has actually moved a little further up the pitch, and maybe it's just a flow of the game, or just the fact that the team is actually attacking at this point. But the first 15 minutes of the second half will really determine how much of a plan that has really changed in the Super Eagles dressing room. But the first thing first, like I rightly said before, we need to actually take it easy. Take it easy. Don't be in a hurry to actually, get the goals. The goals will come if you actually do the right thing. We need to plan and stay grounded and stay focused. At this point, even the Zimbabweans know that there's actually a problem, because coming out into the second half is going to be a they know the Super Eagles is going to come all out smoking. So if they can actually stay cool, also it's going to be at their own benefit. So at this point, the Super Eagles need to just do everything they need to do to actually get the 3 points in this particular game.
All right, and of course, there's also talk about the situation of the pitch. And if you take a look at something about this Warrior side, they are very careful from committing fouls. And we used to have players who can hold up to the play, beat 1 or 2, 3 players. Moses Simon used to be one of those players. I don't know what's happened recently. And of course, look at Moses Simon again. I think, even Ademola Lookman, I think I'm not seeing him much in this game. We need players who can hold up to the ball, beat 1 or 2, 3 players, and free up situation for other players. Chidera Ejuke is one man who does that very well for his club side Sevilla, and he was not invited. Now, looking at the bench, who's that player that can do that? Oh, that was very close. I think you should have brought that ball a little bit down. And of course, Victor Osimhen definitely reliably would have been able to put that ball back into the net. What can be done to break the stubborn defense of the Warriors of Zimbabwe?
Well, the thing that can be done is very simple. Hold on to the ball. We need somebody that should carry the ball very well. Also, why is Osai Samuel? Why is he sitting down at the back? There is a particular play that just ended now with Iwobi going back to chase the ball. We are attacking. Our fullback should be front. Osai Samuel should take a study from what Olaino is doing on the left. Olaino is outside there joining the attack. Osai Samuel is way behind. Rather than have Iwobi chasing back the ball, Osai Samuel should have been on that particular right hand side, to get that particular ball. With Iwobi in the box, we have more bodies in the box. Osai Samuel crossing that particular ball in. Osai Samuel movement in terms of joining the attack has not impressed me so far today. We have the balls. We have much the balls. Osai Samuel should also be joining them in the attack to put pressure on the Zimbabweans. That is not happening at the moment, and I hope that changes. Iwobi has changed, the way he's been getting involved with play in terms of shifting forward and joining the attack in front of goal.
Wow.
However, the final pass is still very poor, and that has been the problem.
All right, of course, we had a very great chance there, and these are the chances we are talking about. When you're in a tight game like this, where the team opposing defense is really tight, when you see the chances, take them. Don't play with them. Don't put yourself in a situation where you have to start regretting. Be on the spot, be always ready, be on the lookout. That's why I used to like the Argentine national team. When they are playing a very difficult side, they wait patiently. When that chance comes, they are ready to make sure they kill it. And of course, take a look at Osimhen. They are on Osimhen's case, just like bread and butter. They are not letting that man have any single breathing space. Oh, we can see the man, Peter Obi, is there supporting the Super Eagles. What a way to show solidarity. I hope his spirit will bring the victory.
Well, I mean, that is the issue, Jerry.
That's the issue. Interesting issue.
The truth is that, this particular game, right, there's something about the players at this point. If you look at them, there's this sense of urgency is beginning to creep in, and when that comes, you start having this sort of necessary mistake. There's no reason Alex Iwobi just have one assignment in that box. Just be calm and then slot it home. But then because he was so much in a hurry, he knows that there's pressure. Everybody wants to see the first goal. He just wants to hit the ball how it comes. And exactly what I was talking about this Zimbabwean side. If you look at the way they've been defending so far, notice that any time the ball manages to beat the man on the byline, that their center defenders are most very, very clueless. They really do not know what to do. So the strength is actually to stop us from actually drifting in with these guys. Look at them. And
there's a man on the man every time.
Every single time. And this is why I say we need somebody who has that ability to actually drive home with that ball. You need someone who can actually...
So who is that man? You're saying Victor Boniface?
Victor Boniface presents that quality in the final third. That's what he's been known for in Bayern Leverkusen. That's what he does naturally for the Bayern Leverkusen. He's known to actually move the ball to the final third. He knows actually how to actually take on defenders, center defenders. That is his own specialty. So we need somebody who can actually do as much as the wingers are actually doing, with defenders one-on-one. We need that person to actually free up Victor Osimhen. Because if Victor Boniface consistently hang on to the ball, face the center back, they will be worried and there will be less concentration on Victor Osimhen, and that definitely is going to result to our first goal.
All right, and of course, if you take a look at the ball control of the man who was actually with the ball, he should have also made an attempt. Talking about when the ball is laid to you, try as much as possible to also give us attempts on goal. Now, no set pieces to at least give the Eagles the chance. Shouldn't they be looking for those set pieces? And even the corners are dry. What is happening?
You cannot force set pieces when there is no foul.
There's a way you do it. You commit the opposing team to put themselves in a difficult situation where they will have no choice.
You see, this is another very urgent play. You are holding on to the ball. You saw your left full back run past. You just slot the ball home to that person. Perhaps create a space for the person. The person, Dani Alves, Jordi Alba, and Lionel Messi thing. Just move into that space, and then he's going to bring it back. But then you decide to actually, square the ball directly yourself. This is one of those things I've been talking about. When you are showing this agitation for goals, you start making an unnecessary mistake. We should not be making all of this sort of mistake. We need to actually keep our head cool. I mean, yes, I understand that the second half is underway, but we don't have another half after this. But take it easy, because there's no how you're going to force play and get the goal. If you are not stable, if you are not cool in front of goal, you most likely miss all the that you get.
All right, so of course, Nigerians are beginning to get agitated, and the poll is on. Who do you think will win the match? And it looks like 90% of Nigerians watching us are already saying it's going to be the Super Eagles. Yes, in the spirit of the Super Eagles, we expect that a lot of Nigerians still have faith. And you said Victor Boniface. Samuel Chukwueze is still on the pitch. It's not high time we look for more players who can hold up play, because we don't need players who cannot hold up play. And it looks like Victor Osimhen is being man-marked here. Maybe take Victor Osimhen to play behind. Coming in.
What I'm saying is that the person that is going to be coming in should be somebody who can actually hold on to the ball. Moses Simon is not a better ball holder than Samuel Chukwueze. So even if you want to sacrifice Samuel Chukwueze, bring in somebody that is going to actually push Moses Simon to the other side of the field, and then let that person complement Victor Osimhen's run in the final third. That's exactly what we are looking for.
Okay, I hope that you are participating on the poll on our YouTube channel. Those who are watching, you can also drop your comments on the comment section. We acknowledge those comments as well. And it's also an open session. You can also call in and what you think about the chances of the Super Eagles. On the poll, you have Nigeria, Zimbabwe. Who do you think will win the match? And so far, so good. I think people are reacting on who they feel is going to win the match. Of course, the poll is there. Who do you think will win? Nigeria or Zimbabwe? And this one, I think a lot of Nigerians who are watching will not surely want Zimbabwe to win this game. Okay, we can get reports all the way from talking about Cote d'Ivoire that the South Africans have scored eventually. It means that the Super Eagles will need to do their job. If FIFA is doing... Oh, Foster just got the goal for South Africa. It's really not too interesting as well on Nigerians, but we must know what's happening in that game. Just 53 minutes into that one, and still here the Super Eagles is
on whatever it is that is happening anywhere else. The destiny of qualifying is right in our hands. If the stories that we are hearing about South Africa feeding in an ineligible player is true, then of course it makes our case even much easier. Let's just go win all of our games and relax. That's all we need to do at this point.
This is the game they need to win, right?
That's what I'm saying. So let's start with this one, get this one right, and forget about what is happening elsewhere. This is one thing that that Man City actually had to do in the last 4 seasons that they won the league. Don't concentrate in their last 12-15 games. They don't look at whatever it is their opponent is playing. They just want to win their games. Let's forget about whatever our opponents are playing. Let's just win our games, and it starts from here. Let's take it easy. Let the coach actually look into a lot of this, because our wingers are still very much not free. Look at what exactly we are saying. They're being forced to go back at every point in time. And when you understand that there's always space in this other side of the pitch, but there's no space with Samuel Chukwueze, because they know how dangerous and how slicky this guy can be. But then I don't know how much or whatever the coach is.
And what happened to taking shots outside of the 18-yard box? We saw that. We saw the training session where the players were taught on how to play shot outside the 18-yard box, but we're not seeing the players taking advantage of that situation. Since they are sitting back, try as much as possible to take shots outside the 18-yard box. You don't have to run. We're not playing. This is not Barcelona, for crying out loud. This is not Barcelona of 2006, 2008 time. Okay, Samuel Chukwueze has just left the pitch, and Tolu Arokodare, the man who has been scoring goals at plenty in the Belgian league, has been brought in. I hope he'll be able to get the goal.
I mean,
for his own good.
We were having a conversation about throwing a rookie into a particular game like this, and then we're having another rookie. You want to say that he's been scoring goals at plenty, but then looking at the dynamics of this game, we actually know what is obtainable for his goal. But of course, I respect the coach. I understand perhaps maybe Osimhen, like you said, this game will show exactly why he has actually this change. But then I know that now Moses Simon will have to be forced to the other side of the field, or I don't know if it's Arokodare that's also going to go to the other side, but I doubt that's going to happen. I still believe it's going to be Moses Simon, and then
yeah, something similar to what we saw against Rwanda from this same situation. Talking about a free kick, and we're expecting that Demola Lookman to take the free kick, and I hope Victor Osimhen will be at the end of this one, because heavily Nigerians, I hope the fans there are screaming as loud as they can hear. That all we are saying. I remember back the days when we used to watch the Eagles game, we hearing the fans singing, all we are saying, give us
one goal,
give us one goal,
just one goal.
Maiwa, the Eagles are waiting for the first goal.
Oh. Yeah, I think we need a goal, and this is the first time we are getting any set piece very close to the 18, and that is courtesy of Arokodare. He was able to take on the defender and was able to draw the foul. Ademola just had a very nice opportunity, very close to the post, but he couldn't hit the target. I think we need to start shooting. There is the Rwandans, the Zimbabweans, they are defending with their life, and they will not allow us play. Also, you made mention of something as regards shooting from the outside that we have not seen. We are trying to do tiki-taka into the 18, and it has not worked so far. Sometimes there is a need for us to be taking shots from outside. I think Osimhen should probably be selfish here, maybe take one or two. Let's see if that will be able to do it. I think with the introduction of Arokodare, based off the fact that under 2 minutes that he came in, he's been able to draw foul that has given us the opportunity to be able to play set piece into the 18. I want to suspect that we see an Arokodare take on players small and probably draw the fouls, because as it is now, the Zimbabweans, what they have been doing so far, which has been working excellently, where is this? They crowd you in numbers, let you play with the ball till you are tired, then they show you where to go to, and that has been working so far. Also, our final third balls has been very, very poor. If we win this game, that is something HL needs to work on. We cannot have professional players who are playing week in, week out for big teams, be so poor of their final third ball. That has been, that has been really terrible. We need to do something about that if we want to go further. Bad news, South Africa is currently leading.
Yeah.
If we want to qualify for the World Cup,
Rwanda is leading.
Yeah.
The way the table looks right now, Rwanda is leading by a goal to nil against Lesotho. And if things end like this, I don't want to say it ends like this, because it's not really good. But the Super Eagles still have a chance to win this one. and go as far as getting 10 points alongside Rwanda and South Africa, even though 3 points is still yet to be deducted. We are hearing that investigation is going on. If 3 points get deducted from South Africa, they will go back on 10 points. And another goal will have to be deducted because 3 goals will also need to be deducted. They scored 2 against Lesotho. So it's a difficult situation for South Africa, and of course, still very bright for the Super Eagles of Nigeria because they still have a lot of minutes to play for. Yeah, Maiwa.
Well, if you are talking about 3 points being deducted, I think the best result in this game will probably be a draw. Because, I mean, if they have a draw, they are on 11 points. And should Nigeria win, I hope we win, we are on 9 points. So definitely we are comfortable the next time we are playing South Africa. I hope the 3 points is deducted in as much as, we want the qualification to happen on the field of play and not in the boardroom. However, South Africa have decided to shoot themselves in the foot. If the investigation is, if they do the investigation and they find out that this is true, definitely, the 3 points is to be deducted. If that's the case, then the appropriate, the better result for us, the result that will favor us, will probably be a draw in this particular game. If they draw, if the 3 points is taken away, they are on 9 points. And, if we win our game, we are,
stepped onto that pitch. They don't really know him. That will be their own doing eventually. Hopefully one of those situations ends in a goal in favor of the Super Eagles. Having Tolu was really close in that one. And more of that, more crosses, more situations where the Zimbabweans will be put in a difficult situation, then we can have a chance to at least get a goal into this one. Because if you look at the table, it's not really tabling for the Super Eagles. And I think we need to pray very well. And play very well.
Okay, play very well.
Play very well and pray very well.
I don't believe...
So that the Lord Shepherd will favor, we really favor Psalm 24. The Eagles, right?
Zimbabweans almost got to go. This is exactly what I was saying.
Yes.
You don't squander your chances.
Yeah.
You don't squander your chances. A few minutes ago, we saw our coach almost rolling on the floor. Right. It shows that there's this huge high level of desperation. He needs that goal at all costs, by any means. Right. Now the problem, if they sense it, football is a psychological game. If they sense that these people are beginning to lose their cool, all they need to do is to frustrate and then look for just one chance and bury it. They know that the most you get is one goal and they go home with 1 point. It is not a situation we want to find ourselves. We need to be calm. The coach needs to actually look at what exactly needs to... I still believe we still need somebody else again in that attack that... See, if it takes the changing... Because it's still very much playing the diamond, this time with 2 traditional strikers, right? We need to actually either go the 4-3-3 way and then... somebody who is also good with the ball. We need players, a lot of players who can actually take people on at this point. We need to actually put more pressure on the defense line of this Zimbabwe. They don't have the best pairs of legs in Africa when it comes to defense. So this should not be a problem for us to actually break. We just need to actually bring in the right personnel, which I still believe we have to take on in a game like this. We need to actually do the right thing at this point because the time is actually eating up. And with every single time, I look at all this sort of terrible passes will start coming up. You start seeing frustration, and trust me, when they sense it, if they get a single chance, Jerry, we're in trouble. We might just end up not seeing the end of this game.
Yeah, some have even complained about the situation of the pitch, and I can see even the South Africans and even the Ivorians already making comments. But I think I will still want to see them after 90 minutes when the Super Eagles could have won this game. Something still tells me that the Eagles is still going to pick the 3 points in this one. All they just need to do is keep their cool, take advantage of any situation that comes in. Even the Zimbabweans are even getting desperate and edgy. And I'll still want to see who comes from the bench as well to assist the Super Eagles. And of course, if any player is tired, this is the best time to take them off. Bring in fresh legs. Who are strong, who are ready to run, I beg your pardon, and take advantage of any situation that comes their way.
True, Jerry. See, this sort of games, you need the right attitude. My coach in back in the days in our neighborhood, we always say that right mind, right football, right result. Right? We need players with the right mind at this point. The right mind, the right physicality. If you sense a player a player is tired, bring in somebody that can actually carry the mantle, because at this point you're carrying the hope of the whole nation. This particular game is like our last game, because the point difference at this point, we don't want a situation where even if they finally deduct a point from South Africa, it will appear like there's no difference. We need to actually win this game to put more pressure on them. And people talking about the pitch, I don't know why this pitch is more of a concern. This is our home ground, right? If we are playing away, yes. If we are playing away from home and Nigerians are complaining about the pitch, I can understand. This is our home ground. If you know the pitch is not good enough, make it good. And you're not the only one playing on it. The Zimbabweans also play on the turf, so they can actually find a way to get the results in a ground that they are not even familiar with. Why can't you get a result here?
Yeah, I'm going to see the coach speaking to Moses Simon. I hope Moses Simon is getting the message correctly. Talking about give us a goal. Someone even saying that what's wrong with all these dreadlock players. Okay.
No,
they're just joking. Yeah, they're not joking.
I mean, see, the thing is this. I understand the frustration, and I'm not one that would want to attack any player personally. But Iwobi's, pass from the midfield has been a bit poor. To be honest with you, I think apart from Olaino that has been doing so well in terms of the ratio of the successful passes he has been able to make, every other person in that midfield, the passes has been very, very poor, and that has contributed to how comfortable the Zimbabweans are in terms of sitting down in front of their goalkeeper, and that's just the truth. Iwobi needs to do better in terms of his passes. His passes has been very poor. The passes are not going the way it's supposed to go. You are the marshal of the midfield. I mean, if you throw 10 passes, at least 9 should, the Obas will call something Debe, 9 should get to the target. Not that if you are throwing 10 passes, 6 of them is not getting to the target. The one that the Zimbabweans can easily intercept the passes and you move on and defend those passes. That is not good enough for somebody who is supposed to be marshalling midfield. We still need somebody in this particular game that would continue to carry the ball. Yes, I think the delivery ratio, the delivery from Moses Simon has seen a bit of improvement. We saw a couple of minutes ago in that phase of attack where Moses Simon crossed that ball in, missed Victor Osimhen, but Aroko Dare could not direct his header to go. So I think if Moses Simon can improve, and we saw also earlier that the coach was also speaking to him in terms of improving how he crossed the ball. If he can do that very well, probably we might be able to nick it. At this point, this is the time, we are getting close to the 70th minute, and we are already in the 70th minute, and this is the time where players begin to panic because we are very close to the end of the game. We just need to calm down and create opportunities for us to be able to score.
All right, it's okay. Playing at the interior box is also crucial. Wilfred in the league, that's not you used to do it for Leicester City. Please, let's see something close to that. And of course, Eric Chair is looking all frustrated. I hope there's enough water around him, and we don't get to a situation where we need them. but it is what it is. I think the players should just keep their cool, because even if it's 10 minutes to go, you can still score 2-3 goals. It's just be able to take advantage of the situations when they come. And now they've made some substitution. I think I need more substitution. It should not stay with only that, because the attack need more pumping in. And of course, if you take a look at Zimbabweans, they are beginning to come out.
Wow! Osimhen, yes!
Yes.
Yes!
Okay. All right. Wow. I think Nigerians would love to see how that goal comes in. And what a way to go. I can even see the vibration I can feel the vibration of the stadium already. I think this is what we want to see. Yeah, finally. I think Nigerians, I think the Zimbabweans have decided to come out, and let's just watch this. Okay, and of course,
give Olaino his flowers.
It's just proving that
give him his flowers.
He's one of the best right backs, and now he's on the left. What a goal at all. I think the Zimbabweans coming out eventually looking for a goal. led to this beautiful one. Of course, oh,
Look at the goalkeeper.
the Warriors goalkeeper is no longer warrioring. He's frustrated. Really frustrated. Really frustrated.
Just one tactical change, Jerry. If you look at the build-up to that goal, if you look at the movement in the 18-yard box, you understand that there is a reason why Osimhen was able to get that goal. The center defenders were confused on who to follow between him and Akodare. Before now, it was only Osimhen. They know he's actually the only point man, so they just chase him around 2-3. Now look, he was almost very free when the ball came.
As the king of African football.
If you look at that movement again, you will see that some of those players were actually running after confused. And Ola, a very brilliant player. He knew exactly where to put the ball. And Osimhen, come on, enough cannot be said about him.
All right, let's see the build-up play there. What a beautiful one.
Look at him.
Wow, beautiful pass.
Yeah.
Ola,
Look at those defenders with Arokodare.
Yes, Arokodare leading up to that play.
So Osimhen was like a very free man because everybody was like, okay, where is this guy?
Yeah, you don't want to leave Osimhen in a very, very interesting situation like that. I think good one from the tactical play and being tenacious. That is what we want to see from the Super Eagles. And now the Zimbabweans will now be confused and more goals can begin to pour in. I can't wait to see more goals in this one. Yeah, there's still a lot of time to score more goals, and the Eagles should be able to at least make sure they defend well, don't allow them get on in a counter-attacking situation, and now bring in more players who can hold on to the ball. Don't rely on players who are tired. Yeah,
definitely. That's what should be done. And a lot of people might think I'm criticizing, what's his name now, Osai Samuel, unfairly. However, Osai Samuel should learn from Olaina. Olaina has been very, very active, and that is how a modern fullback will behave. Osai Samuel with Fenerbahce, plays the way we are seeing Olaina play in this particular game. But I don't know, maybe the coach has told him to be cautious or something. I don't know the reason why. But he's supposed to be joining the attack, and that has not happened.
Wow.
And that has not happened all this while. Wow, that's an opportunity for the Zimbabweans. That was close.
Wow, that was really close.
That was really close.
Really close.
We almost lost our lead. That was really close.
That was really close. I already thought that was a goal. But
we need to be careful.
The Eagles were very lucky, if you ask me. That was a really lucky on the part of the Eagles.
We need to be very careful.
I think that should be the most celebrated goal post. That is the biggest defender. That goal post is the biggest defender on the pitch. I think that goal post should be celebrated.
I mean, Jerry, something is happening at this point. The Zimbabweans have actually, lost their cool. They want to get a goal back.
Yeah.
Now, this is that point where we also need to be very calm and hit on a fast break. We need the second goal to actually seal this particular game. The Rwandans have. If it tells you that even when they were attacking before, you have about just 2-3 attacking, but now they have about 3, 4, 5 men thrown forward. Now the Super Eagles needs to also see that, okay, it's also time to actually get another goal and also show that we are also good at defending. Because football is
someone who's active, who can control the midfield. And Rafael Yedika, he's good defensively, he's also good attack-wise. And that is the player we want to see on the pitch right now. Who is never that? 90 minutes, Rafael is always bringing something. And that is what we expect.
I mean, this is exactly how we actually finished the game again in Rwanda, where Rafael Ndika and Rufen did actually marshaled the midfield. Now we actually need to actually be very cautious defensively. Now we have to be very cautious defensively and then find that final killer blow. Let's seal this game before it gets to the 85th minute, because when it gets to the 85th minute, these guys will come all out. And again, just one single mistake. Come on. For me, I don't even think this 1-0 is a lead, right? Until it is over. So we need another goal to look back and say, okay, if whatever happens, even if they manage to get a goal, it is still going to be 2-1.
Yeah, it's going to be in favor of the Eagles, because definitely taking a look at the play, 2 subs so far. We still have 3 more to go. If Eric Chel is willing to take advantage of that, and the Zimbabweans are going to come out. I don't know what the plan is. We're going to pick a draw. I think the plan was to get a draw in this one. Or
absolutely.
see if they can get a win. Wow, big play from Calvin Bassey on that one. And of course, another build-up play coming from the flanks. Again, another beautiful cross. That is what the Eagles is known for, playing from the flanks. So far, so good. Can we say the game plan is working? Are we expecting more goals in this one?
Well, now that we have scored, the Zimbabweans, they would see. If you look at the frustration of the goalkeeper, the game plan is very simple. Frustrate Nigeria, hit them on the counter, and score and brag. That is not working anymore. We've been able to score. To give Olaino his flowers. What's his name? Osai Samuel needs to do better. He needs to bring that.
All right.
Okay.
Hi, hello, good morning.
Okay, we have a call. Maiwa, let's take this call. Hello.
Hello, good morning. My name is Shegun, calling from Canada.
Shegun from Canada. Great to have you join us.
Yes, so I'm happy that we now have a one lead, but I still think that Simon Moses should still leave that pitch. And I would like to see Lukman coming to that left flank. I think he naturally plays better from the left flank, and when he does that, he has a way of dribbling himself into the 18 box. It's either they commit foul against him and get a penalty, or he converts that to a solo effort, or sometimes he releases a very dangerous pass that gives us that second goal. But Moses Simon should leave that left flank. Lukman moves in there, and then he can do a better job there. So far, I've seen Lukman playing mostly from the center field, and that is not his natural location where we get the best out of him. That's just my submission. But so far, it's been a tense game. It's not as easy as we thought, but thank God that we have a one lead right now. But we have next, now that we have a lead, so that we don't lose concentration and concede.
All right, thank you very much, Shegun. Definitely spot on there, saying that the boys will need to be calm. Cool and collected. They are leading. It's not like we thought it was going to be easy. Definitely, it's looking like that way. And of course, on the part of Moses Simon, I think apart from playing from the left, he's more or less, that's the only position he's really, really active. And that is why maybe it's difficult for the coach to take him off, because Ademola Lookman is more effective playing from that wing.
True.
As well. True. Because we've not been seeing him as much effective as it used to be.
Yes.
And it will be difficult to take any of them out of this game, because you need any of them, because any of them is also a goal threat. Goal threats are very important. So it's not left for the coach to see who is more valuable. Maybe take away Ademola Lookman right now and look for somebody else who could play behind you. Since you have already Aroko Dare and Osimhen still on the pitch, maybe take off Lookman, since Moses Simon can still hold on to the ball coming from the flanks. Even Olaino is doing well from that flanks as well. So a lot of option there. Oh, what a beautiful pass.
Ademola Lookman is also a very good ball handler.
Yeah,
and this is one thing that what's off that that left wing, right? He never at any point played him as a striker. So this is exactly where I think Eric Shea is just trying to accommodate everybody. The truth is we need to see competition in the team. We need to see, a Super Eagles where you take out Ademola Lookman and bring in a Moses Simon. You take out a Moses Simon and bring in Ademola Lookman. That is the kind of competition we want to see. We want to see players play their natural position where they play for their club side, so that we can get it them. Samuel Chukwueze has been made almost useless in this game, and he has been taken off. Ademola Lookman himself has not really been at his optimal because he wasn't given his preferred position. And in a game like this, you need players to actually really give you their best from their real position. You want to say these guys actually players that have played at the biggest stage, but the truth is, even at the biggest stage, they were made because they actually played from a certain position, right? So I just hope that the Super Eagles can actually get, like Shegun also said, we need to be very calm and get the second goal.
What was that? What was that? I think I'm already. Coming from defensive midfielder.
Okay, so
yes, we're scoring goals for Leicester City.
So you said something about this stock and the holes in the stocks and all of that. Yes, players actually do this because they need to free up their muscles. If you remember, before I think a couple of years ago, before players started doing this, you see this with the likes of Bukayo Saka and Co. A couple of years ago, before players started doing this, the issue of hamstring was very, very rampant, right?
Yeah.
And so they started doing this because it actually was advised by doctors, because the holes were very tight, so they need to free up their muscles. They need to actually
I do have those holes. They're very, very tight. I agree with you.
They need to actually free up their muscles because these guys are athletes. They run all through. So because of these things, the legs need to be very, very free. So that's why we're having all of these issues.
All right, we're getting reports from Cote d'Ivoire that South Africa are leading by 2 goals now. They just got the second goal in that one. And the Zimbabweans are also trying their luck. Wambali, I think you should be sleeping now. You should not be standing up. Well, anyway, it is what it is. At least give the Zimbabweans in their own coin. Zimbabweans are also enterprisingly looking for a goal as well. I think the Super Eagles should not be giving the balls away.
Too in a hurry. That's exactly what it is. Too in a hurry.
All right. Rwanda and Lesotho just equalized, meaning they are playing 1-1. So the Super Eagles will be ending this game if they add more goals ahead of Rwanda, which is also a good result if you ask me.
Absolutely. Rwanda and South Africa are actually the biggest threat at this point, and if we can actually get our house right, we can definitely say today, looking at the way the table is going to end, we're going to be right there behind South Africa, and we'll be hoping that at the end of we'll still be third. Okay, we'll be second.
Yeah, we'll be second.
So, and if FIFA does their job, we will be very close, knowing that we still have to play them. And I mean, there's no better way to actually rejoice than say yes, we need to do one good business against South Africa, and it's to get all 3 points. And again, like we look at this, the way the game has turned so far, you notice that Zimbabweans are now all out. They've now started winning the second balls in the midfield. The attackers that we have in this particular team are actually they've given a good account of it. So many of them are very more tired.
The second Victor is beginning to show face. Mayowa, your brother is coming. He's looking like the second Victor. At least the first Victor is looking like he has picked up a knock. He has done very well.
Apologies is a bit dark. PSN has they've done their magic again. But in any case, Victor Osimhen to replace him. I think we just need to conserve, conserve his strength. I hope he doesn't go back to his club injured. However, we need to be very, very careful. Ikechukwu said something that is very, very important, which our players are letting the Zimbabweans have. They are letting them have the second ball, and that is putting us under a lot of pressure. I hope, a Victor Boniface, with the ability to be able to carry the ball and hold the ball, brings a whole lot of people to him, get the foul, that break of play, and, reduce the tension of that particular game. What was, the Leicester City man, what was he thinking? That is an opportunity for you to score a goal. If there's any ever a time for you to score an important goal, that was the time. I don't know what he was thinking. He should have buried the opportunity.
Behind the team, being vociferous and trying to settle the Warriors in that one. So it's just a few minutes to go. I think some water has been given to Eric Chel Gumodede, having communication with Eric Sekochel. Okay, and so far so good. The Super Eagles are looking good. If we check our table correctly, I think it's 8 minutes into that first one, this second half of this one. So far so good. Eric Chel in 2 games.
2 games. I mean, he's been fantastic. But I'm not going to this particular game. I'm going to be very sincere. McInnes has actually outclassed Eric Chel when it comes to tactical.
Do you think he outclassed, or he came with a game plan to sit back?
Well, I mean,
that's more like playing the coward style.
No, see, the truth is, okay, perhaps outclass might be a stretch. Particular game. If the Zimbabweans had been a little more clinical, they would have had a go, right? You don't have to really do much.
Really, really interesting. I hope that's not true. And yeah. It's really a very, 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 very interesting one as far as this one is concerned. I hope the Eagles will have what it takes to cement this one and give us the necessary 3 points, because definitely it's very, very crucial to how well the Super Eagles is able to go. Well. Okay, let's look at it very well. Let's look at the build-up play in that one. Ikechukwu, what should be on our minds right now? Very, 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 very difficult situation. I will find ourselves. We hear that the Zimbabweans have equalized. They've scored at the death of this one, almost 90 minutes, and the Zimbabweans have just put the ball at the back of the net. What was going through the mind of the defense? What really happened there?
Jerry, you know, I was talking about this before now, and that the coach of Zimbabwe has shown tactical superiority. Obviously, they have. The little time they've come out to attack, we've shown that we don't have what it takes to actually stop them from scoring. I mean, for a side that you struggled to get a goal for almost 70 minutes, and then now you have less than 5 minutes to actually do another one, it's going to actually, I mean, it's a lot to actually take in. But then it's still very more possible. But like I said before, these guys have actually shown that, you know, they are actually a good side. This is a team, and Eric Shell, I mean, I'm not going to take anything away from him, but the truth is he met a man who is tactically superior, and they've shown just why, you know, they've been talking tough all the while. You know, I said this, that the double header we're going to be playing, that my biggest worry is the Zimbabwe, and yes, they've shown why, just why, you know, we really needed to have taken them, you know, very serious. And I just hope the Super Eagles find a way out of this particular hole at this point, because trust me, if it ends this way, we are in a very, very bad situation. We need to be looking at other teams now to actually give us the hope of qualifying. Not just we beating South Africa again at this point. We need other teams to actually also help us beat South Africa before we can say, and plus, of course, FIFA doing their job in the boardroom. So all of those permutations, we really do not need it at this point at all.
All right, and of course, if you take a look at it, 5 minutes of added time are still available for the Super Eagles to at least see if they can win this one, because it's not violent, it's over. But the Zimbabweans, we're looking forward to spoil the show. And of course, take a look at the Zimbabweans, even if they win this one, their chance of going to the World Cup is definitely not in the picture. But they're just there to at least spoil the fun for the teams who are in a better situation. And of course, Eric Chell, I don't envy him right now.
Nobody wants to be in this position at all.
Yeah,
I mean, this
very difficult situation.
This is a very serious situation coming from, you know, 3 points you got away from home, from a side that was actually at the top of the log, and then you playing a side just behind you, right in your backyard, and then you're struggling to get 2 goals and 3 points. It's a very big, you know, pill to actually swallow. Look at the likes of Alex who will be putting their hands on their head. I kept saying it. The Super Eagles lost their cool. They even before they got the goal, the Super Eagles lost their act to put themselves together as a team. They stopped playing as a team. They started looking for, you know, just one goal, individual brilliance, whatever it is. Let it just come, and then we have the goal. At that point, we should retract and go back, you know, and sit as a team to get it. But then again, the Super Eagles lost it.
I think Bayowa is short of words already. He can't really find the words to really explain what is actually going on in Uyo at the moment.
The thing is this, it will be very sad. Osimhen, Ademola Lookman, all those guys with the African Footballer Award, they will not grace the World Cup next year. If this game ends this way and we don't find a second goal and win this game, we should kiss our World Cup ticket goodbye. The only way we go to the World Cup is if we score a goal in the next 20 seconds, because it's about 9 minutes, it's about 94 minutes and 40 seconds thereabout. If we do not get the goal right now, we are not going to the World Cup. It's so disappointing. We have a goal. This is the time to defend with your life. This is not the time to make mistakes. What did we do? We decided to that Zimbabweans an opportunity, and they utilized it. And to be honest with you, it seems the Zimbabwean coach outclassed our coach in this particular game with the way he set up his team. We are seeing the result right now. They even have an opportunity to do a counter. They might even score a second goal if you don't take time.
All right, it looks like the Zimbabweans came with a plan and well executed on their part. Nigerians should not give up. Anything can still happen. It's football. Anything can still happen. So we'll wait for what's going to happen in other games as far as the World Cup qualifiers is concerned. Maiwa, we look forward to see what happens next. Talking about the board, the presidential task force, and what is going to happen as far as the 3-point deduction is concerned. We'll go back to the drawing board again and see if his drawing board is still available for anything. And of course, Zimbabweans even want to. they want to win this one.
Jerry, let's be honest with ourselves. We should kiss the World Cup goodbye. And that's just the honest truth.
Yes,
it's so disappointing.
Yes,
we should kiss it goodbye. South Africa has won that game. If they didn't win, we'd have had a chance with the 3 points being deducted. But as it is, the game is over. The game has already ended. We should kiss our World Cup goodbye. It would just be so sad that this generation that we have, that have done so well in Europe, that have been able to distinguish themselves, will not be participating in the next World Cup. It's just so sad. All
right, that's where we draw the curtain today. We'll be back tomorrow to assess all of the situation and hope that we'll be able to.
It's not been awesome being here today.
It's not been awesome, but let's keep the faith up. Anything can still happen. Maiwa is also been awesome having you, and of course, big thanks to the guys to make sure that we'll be able to give all the pictures from Uyo with what is happening. Big thanks to Ikechukwu, the likes of Siva, Shegun, not leaving out Sam, as well as Jeremiah, and of course, all those who made the show a possible one. And of course, for me, Jerry Apello, I want to say keep the hopes alive. Let's not be unhappy. And of course, we meet again, same time tomorrow on Locker Room.
Makers, the government, and stakeholders to know that living back, the global digital divide be narrowed.
The purpose of World Telecommunication and Information Society Day is to help raise awareness of the possibilities that the use of the internet and other information and communication technologies, ICT, can bring to societies and economies, as well as of ways to bridge the digital divide. In November 2005, the World Summit on the Information Society was called upon by the